Hey friends, good morning. Wednesday, May 17, 11 a.m. here in New York City. We are on the Upper East Side. It is super windy today, so we'll see how this goes. Test number 2 of the stroller cam. We are by Asphalt Green, where they do sports, recreation, lots of activities for the kiddos. And in just a few minutes, we'll be at Schurz Park, the Yorkville neighborhood of the Upper East Side. And just give me a second. I was watching Walking Commuter this morning, Gabe, and he was having a ton of problems with the chat, and I think we might be having that as well. Somewhere between YouTube and Prism have been all sorts of issues lately. So hold on, let me see what's going on. I know he restarted his a few times just so he could see the chat, and then he ended up just using a second phone. So silly. Yep, no chat on Prism, so we'll have to use another device. Let's see who we got. Preston checking in, Connie, Lindy, Vinny, ER Trauma, ABX, Polo Sandoval, Sally Scipio, Bear in the Garden, Gregory Kelly, Metalhead. It's good morning to everybody. So yeah, we are using the stroller cam. This is version 2.0 with the, I do have the gimbal attached to it this time just to see if it's different. I thought yesterday went pretty well, but if you watch on a bigger device like a TV, I did notice you could see all the shaking and the vibration. So wanted to try the gimbal today just to see how it compares. We'll see. Tony checking in from Boston. Steve Gonzalez had his free bagels from Einstein Brothers, right on. Marv, Sebastian, good to see everybody. Lots of activity here around Schurz Park. Probably lots of folks going to Asphalt Green, do some sports. And right up ahead of us is the New York City Ferry, and this one's called Signs to Liberty. Beautiful. Can't wait to get back on the water one of these days. One day we'll get back on the water. So as I walked over here, the gimbal's a little heavier on the little clamp I have attached to the stroller. So if it falls over at some point, we'll find out. We'll have to we'll do some experimentation till we find the best setup for us. Like all these bumps, it's making me think it's gonna fall over at some point. But we'll try different things out. Stroller cam version 2.0. Marzen, welcome. Yeah, we're right by Schurz Park. On our left, it's a little tricky to see from here, but the first building we'll walk by on our left is Gracie Mansion. This is the official residence of the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams. just up those stairs. A little cooler today. So yesterday was 72 when we were streaming, and then by the afternoon went up to about 82. So a warm, basically summer day. Today significantly cooler. Right now it's only 59 degrees, and I think the high today is only in the mid 60s. So much cooler day today, and very, very windy. The winds are like 10 plus miles an hour, but the gusts like 25 miles per hour. So Mini Bagel has a nice little blanket on, staying nice and cozy. And we can actually stroll right up here, get another view of Gracie Mansion, including all the security that they have. If you're a visitor here, you would go through metal detectors and so forth. Have to say, it's a little, this whole streaming thing right now is a little tricky. I don't know if it's Prism, which is the app we use, or if it's YouTube. But it's been very annoying showing the chat. Gregory says, who is Carl Schurz? So it's interesting, he was from Germany. So this whole neighborhood, Yorkville, was a predominantly German neighborhood. Gentleman comes from Germany and becomes a politician in the United States, eventually becoming a US Senator, and spent much of his time here in New York City. So eventually the park was named after him. And if you look him up, it's interesting. His wife helped bring the concept of kindergarten to the United States of America. You know, like they've always been here, but things have to be invented, and you can sort of tell kindergarten's kind of, I mean, it's a German word. So the Schurzes brought kindergarten to the United States. I think it's the funniest thing. And now it's just a beautiful park. But I figured what we would do is actually come to the water and walk along the waterfront for a little bit. It's such a beautiful day despite the wind. So we'll do a little waterfront stroll. We'll go north for now. Hardly ever go this way. Ooh, super bumpy on these cobblestones. Let's see if it's too bumpy for you guys. You let me know. I think it smooths up a bit up ahead. Nabul's in the chat, good to see you. Carl Schurz, Marzen says, is mile 25 on the Great Saunter. So that's the big walk around the perimeter of New York City. Robin's here, Gettysburg ma'am. Robin says the cooler the better. Oh, it sounds like a lot of people are not ready for summertime. Dorg Rock, good to see you. JP. Sebastian asking how's the weather. So it's pretty cool right now, 59 degrees. At the moment, there's a nice breeze, but there's all these gusts. And I don't know if you guys can see the water, but it is churning. It is moving. If you were on one of those ferries today, you'd be in for a bumpy ride. So today we're gonna walk north a little bit. There's lots of so this is the East River Greenway, and if you're many of you have been on the channel many times before. We've walked the East River Greenway lots. The east side has lots of detours, so at some point as we walk north, we'll hit a detour and we'll turn around. But it's been a while since we've gone this way, so do something different. And kiddo, he is falling asleep. I figured he would take a nap. Ambrose, we got the full view stroller cam. Yeah, I hooked up the gimbal today, so it should be smoother, I think, than yesterday. I know for a lot of people, if you watch on your computer or your phone, it's probably small enough that the bumping and the vibration, you don't see it that much. But if you watch on a TV, I thought it was a little too bumpy yesterday. So we're trying something a little different today. I just want to see how it compares. DeBailey's in the house, Dave in Bangor, Maine, Ollie from Iraq. It's good to see everybody. Happy to be walking with you, strolling. So this is the 90th Street, East 90th Street, New York City ferry stop. This is where we usually pick up the ferry from the Upper East Side. And you can take a couple of different routes from here. The Soundview and the Astoria. And it's a very convenient way to get to other parts of Manhattan, but also to Astoria and to Brooklyn. But we enjoy it less for commuting than just it's a beautiful, beautiful boat ride. Great way to see the city. Got some ducks in the water. John Cipolla, Brian Davis, AC's in the house. It's good to see everybody. Oh, it's a beautiful day today. Very windy, so you may hear some of that on the mic. We do have our wind cover, but there's only so much you can do when it's 25 miles an hour. But it feels really nice. Oh, kiddo, you getting too much sun? Hold on. Here, let's pull that down for you. You're napping. Give you some privacy. Brian Davis enjoying stroller cam. I mean, it's unfortunate I can't be as dynamic with the camera, but it gets us out. It's better than nothing. And today we are stroller plus gimbal. But I was saying before a lot of you got on, as I walked over, this setup's a little heavier. And when I hit some really big bumps, the gimbal kind of tilted over. So hopefully that won't happen too much, but I'll keep an eye on it. If we start staring at the sky, you know what happened. Got the street sign right there, 91st Street. Robert, good to see you. Steve says it looks like a nice place to bike or jog. Yeah, this is awesome. So again, it's the East River Greenway. And we'll find out today. I don't remember when where it ends. I could have looked it up, but We're gonna find out together. Got to our left the FDR, and to our right one of the sanitation department facilities. But look at all the landscaping they've done over here. It's beautiful, isn't it? They did a good job. So as I always say, it's my dream that one day the east side Greenway will be continuous. There are lots of detours. We'll find out where today's is. Prince Ice is in the house, all the way from South Korea. Holly says a beautiful day. Yeah, it's so nice out. I do have to remember to start wearing sunscreen again. There are so few clouds. But it's nice and cool. Just feels great. Kiddo had a nice big bottle before we left, so he should be nice and cozy. Taking a nap. Oh, we do a little walk. Got the street signs there, the waypoints. If you got off here from the FDR, 96th Street, you could hang a left, head over to the Guggenheim and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So you would take a left at 96, head over to Fifth Avenue. Brian Bell's in the house. We're on TV. Good to see everybody. Good day, good day, good day. Uh-oh. Looks like the sidewalk collapsed. Look at that. Traffic jam. All these beautiful benches and lots of flowers. It's really nice over here. You can probably tell from my voice, I'm speaking up because of the traffic noise from the FDR. So that's the only downside over here. A little noisy. A little noisy. Oh, look at that. There's the Circle Line. There's the Circle Line. Adriana, good to see you. Oh, that's right. Steve Gonzalez is going to be back in town July 4th, going to the fireworks. Oh, you're going to have such a good time. The fireworks are so great. And so while we're in this direction, you have the RFK and the Hellgate, along with Randall's Island. Lots of sights over here. It's really pretty. Lots of people are out getting their exercise. Hey, Red Star's in the house. Good to see you. Beautiful day. Thanks everybody for joining. Strolling with me and the kiddo. So we started at Carl Schurz Park, and today we went north. Oh, look at those flowers by the roadside. Beautiful. Beautiful. So it looks like over here, it's been a while since I've come this way, that you can get onto here from 96th Street. Yeah. That's nice. So if you're on the Upper East Side, you could either go to Carl Schurz Park, or if you're a little farther north, if you're in Upper East Side, or if you're in East Harlem. Look at these flowers. Look how sharp, look how vibrant they are. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. And this little device says East River Crew Free Rowing. Oh, interesting. So I guess, oh, it even has a little sign. Let me read it to you guys. What am I? I am a davit, a machine that is used to bring boats in and out of the water. I'm here because of the organization called East River Crew, which offers free rowing to the public on Tuesdays from 4:30 to sundown. No experience is needed to row. The only thing you need is a waiver if you're under 18. Life jackets are provided and required at all times. All ages are welcome as long as you are over 30 pounds. Children under 18 need to be accompanied by an adult. Everyone is welcome and no appointment is needed. Donations welcome. Oh, that's awesome. So you could come over here and do some free rowing. That's cool. I had no idea that was there. On the Hudson, you know, they have free kayaking, and I don't know if it's free, but there's places where you can pick up sailboats. I've done that before. It's pretty fun. Although I was so terrified of getting that water in my mouth. Diana asked, are they perfumed vibrant flowers? They did smell nice, but we're by a highway, so there's other smells as well. Oh, I love the waterfront though, despite the highways. It's always beautiful being by the water. So we crossed 96th Street, which puts us in East Harlem, otherwise known as Spanish Harlem. Lots of work going on around us on these boats. Little platforms, I guess. More flowers to our left. Purple, beautiful purple flowers. Adriana has a fear of kayaks though. Yeah, I mean, they're so small, but you've probably noticed there's so little activity in the East River, at least around here. You know, and when there are big boats, they tend to be going pretty slow. So it's probably not too bad for, you know, folks who don't have a ton of experience. Ron says you could never go wrong by waivers. Hey, Ian's here. Good to see you. Prince Ice says weather's not too hot. No, it's nice and cool. It's a beautiful day. I don't think I'm going to take the kiddo because it's just too much of a hike. But one day we'll have to go over there. I've heard the park over there is really pretty and really nice walking. I know there's lots of sports over there as well. One day we'll get there. Just looked across the highway. We are just now passing 99th Street. ABX is in the house. Good to see you. Welcome everybody. Day 2, version 2.0 stroller cam. That's 100th Street on our left now. Ooh, there's that wind pushing back on me. I guess this is a piece of art. It says, Friends of the East River Esplanade, 60th to 120th Street. Jacobs Cheng Architecture, El Barrio Bait Station, 2019. Interesting. I love public art, even if I don't always understand it. Gettysburg Ma'am with the $5 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 5 times over. Appreciate everybody joining today's little East River stroll. Another cave-in on the sidewalk. I wonder what the story is over here, but this is what I've mentioned many times. You know, you just don't see this kind of situation as frequently on the west side, on the Hudson River Greenway. And then you also over here, you're so close to the highway, so it's super noisy. It's not as nice as if you're gonna walk the waterfront, I probably recommend the west side, but you know, hopefully one day they'll keep working on this and make it nicer. But a little sad to see those cave-ins. That's the second sidewalk cave-in we've seen so far. Less than a mile. Not so great. Ambrose says, supposed to be in the 30s tonight by being in New Jersey. My gosh, that is too cold. It's supposed to be summer, or nearing it. Finding Ing says, wants to know how to donate. If you have a $sign button, you can press on that. But I'm not sure it works in every region, so I'm not sure where you are. Not everybody might have that button. But just being here chatting, if you enjoy our walks, hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, you know, lots of ways you can help to support what we do. We just appreciate getting to hang out with everybody. That's crazy though that it could be freezing in New Jersey. The weather has been so strange this year. We had such a mild winter. You know, they said, you know, the least amount of snow in a really long time. So you could take this bridge to 105th Street or to Randall's Island. So one day I'll take it to Randall's Island, maybe not with the kiddo. And then there was a sign there So at the southern end, it's closed at 73rd Street, and then at the northern end, I think it's at 120. I'm not sure we're going to go all that far. We'll probably turn around in just a little bit. Ooh, getting super windy. Wind, wind, wind. That's where all that cold's coming in. But look how green Randall's Island looks. So pretty. We'll make it there one day. That'll be fun. But I think the next time I have a little free time, I think we'll do the New York City ferry. I bought this block of 10, I bought 10 tickets. I think we've only used like 2 or 3. And they expire maybe next month, so I actually got to start using them up. I'm really hoping I'll get, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm hoping one of these days I'll have enough time to go to the Rockaways. I would really like to film the boat ride to the Rockaways and then, you know, maybe make a video over there. Check out this pier. So I think let's get to the pier and then we'll turn around. That'll be enough for today. But you can see all these beautiful benches. I mean, it's really nice over here. Could be in a little better repair, but it is very peaceful and relaxing. So I think at like 117, is it 117? Is it 113? I don't know. There's another bridge up ahead, so there's different ways to get on and off the Greenway. Like every 15 blocks or something. It looks like this pier is closed. That's too bad. I think it says Pier 107. Poochie says South Harlem Reds play baseball in Jefferson Park a few blocks ahead. Ooh, I love Jefferson Park. So, the way a lot of people probably would be familiar with that area is if they know the restaurant Rayo's, which is now super popular for their jarred tomato sauce that's in like all the grocery stores, but it's a really old, famous New York City restaurant. Super, super small. Impossible to get a table unless you know somebody. And it's right there at the corner of what is it? Like 114 in Pleasant or 113 in Pleasant, something like that. That's right nearby Jefferson Park. Really beautiful park. Ian says overpass 111. That makes sense. Yeah, Prince Ice, we got the place to ourselves. Monica's checking in from Venice, Italy. One of the most beautiful places on earth. So just looking over here, Woodrow Wilson houses, that's 106th Street. And we're all the way on the east side, so East River. Though at some point, it becomes the Harlem River. Does it? I wonder if it starts at 110 or 125, I forget. But eventually the East River becomes the Harlem River. By Ozine, we are in Manhattan. We're now walking south from 106th Street along the East River. Oh, Adriana, you tried the Rayo's frozen lasagna. Yeah, we use their tomato sauce. I think it's the best of the jarred ones. It's super expensive, so you got to try to get it on sale. But if you're used to having, the $3 jars of tomato sauce, it's not just that it's like twice as expensive and twice as good. It's like it's twice as expensive, but 50 times as good. So I really recommend that. But never been to the restaurant. We knew somebody who has we sort of know somebody who goes there periodically. But we've never, you never want to abuse your relationship with somebody. But maybe one day we'll ask. Try to get an evening there. One day. ABX likes Carbone, also Manhattan restaurant, yeah. But I always tell people, Carbone is like the hot spot. It's very trendy, and it is very good. It's incredibly expensive. It's like shockingly expensive. But if you want to go to the old school place, right nearby it, also in the West Village, is a place called Il Molino. It's also super expensive. It is definitely not what I would describe as trendy, but I feel like the people who really know their stuff, that's where they go. And I think they also, all these restaurants now, they sell, jars of their tomato sauce for ridiculous prices. But if you want like a once in a lifetime experience, I would go to Il Molino. I would try to go on like a Friday or Saturday night, call way ahead, get a reservation. And we've seen like sports players there. But the big one we saw is Tony Bennett. That was really cool. So up ahead in the distance, that sanitation department facility, that's where we're headed back to. That's kind of around where we started. Make our way back. Like 3/4 of a mile. Oh, it says, so here's where it says Esplanade closed at 114 and 73. So you could take this basically uninterrupted from 73rd Street to 114th. And then I think you can get back on around like 117, but it doesn't go very far. It just keeps getting interrupted. But I'll give you another restaurant recommendation. So Carbone is part of a group called Major Food Group. They're very trendy right now. They've been opening restaurants in different cities. I think mostly in Miami, but they opened one in Boston, and I would imagine other cities as well at this point. They're really on a big growth tear. But the other place here in New York that I really recommend is called Sadelle's, Sadelles, and it's their version of a Jewish deli. And it's, you know, it's also very trendy. It's in Soho. It's, you know, it's not cheap, but if you want to go to like a fancy brunch, it's really, really, really fun. And if you get a bunch of bagels, they bring them out very, very, very old school on a stick. So you get like a tower of bagels. It's the funniest thing. Arjan's in the house. Ah, Poochie's going to Mike's Deli and Arthur Avenue. Oh, I love Arthur Avenue. Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. So that's the Bronx Little Italy. There is some excellent food all along Arthur Avenue. And not too far from it, you could go check out the campus of Fordham University and the New York Botanical Garden. Really pretty, really pretty. And also there's the Bronx Zoo. Lots to do around there. But enjoy. That's going to be so tasty. Enjoy, enjoy. They're the ones who make really good fresh mozzarella, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're known for their mozzarella. Oh, Arjan's in the hospital. I apologize, my friend. I hope you're doing okay. Everybody send Arjan your best healing wishes. Get well soon. Short guy's in the house. Just turned 39. Hey, happy birthday. Happy 39. A lot of birthdays this month. I feel like every time we stream, there's a couple of birthdays. Well, happy birthday to you. Thanks for joining our little East River stroll. Ambrose says, I've never heard of bad mozzarella. Well, that's a good point. That's the thing with the Northeast. There's so much good Italian food. I mean, you could get anything, but really, really, really good Italian food. Ooh, got super sunny all of a sudden. How we doing in there, kiddo? You all right? Still asleep, sleeping soundly. Oh, my peaceful little kiddo, ignoring the sounds of the FDR. I think what we'll do is we'll head back to Carl Schurz Park. We'll find a nice bench, and maybe we'll watch the water for a little bit. Yeah, Joanna, he's in the, so the gimbal has been, we've attached it to the stroller, so you're on stroller cam today. I mean, one day I have one of those, baby carrier things where I can put them on my my stomach, but then I'd be talking into his face, like right into his ears. And I'm not sure if we would do that for like over an hour or so. We'll see. we're trying out different things so that we can get outside a little more frequently. And right now that is stroller cam. Yeah, Brian Davis, he loves it. He falls right asleep. It knocks him out. Yeah, I was saying yesterday, you know, we don't have a car or anything in New York. We don't drive, which is what a lot of people do when they really need the kiddo to fall asleep. You know, they just go take them for a drive, and something about the motion. But the stroller works. My wife and I, we were really struggling one night. We almost went out to do like a 3:30 walk in the morning, but eventually we got him to fall asleep anyways. But we were really struggling one night. He's been, his teeth are starting to come in one by one, which has made sleeping a little more complicated for everybody. Walks in camera, good to see you. Not holding the gimbal himself yet. Oh, can you imagine? I can only, like, maybe 5% of the time does he even hold the bottle himself, so gimbal might be pushing my luck. One day. Coming by our vibrant flowers again, and the East River crew free rowing. Ron TV says, how much duct tape are we using? Not enough. Not enough. As I walked over, yesterday, so what I did yesterday was we have a clamp and I just used a phone holder. And I think for most of you guys it worked out just fine. But if you watched on the TV, it just shook. Like you could see all sorts of vibration, which I find a little distracting. So today it's hooked up to the gimbal, but the gimbal is so much heavier that when I was walking over here and I would hit bumps on the sidewalk, the whole thing would kind of tilt over. As long as we stay on this path, it's like pretty smooth. So that hasn't happened, but you know, if I want to take you guys like down some of the side streets and stuff, and we'd have run into some trouble. So I think I'm still working on the solution here. I don't think I've found the solution just yet. There's going to be a version 3. I don't know what version 3 is going to look like just yet, but there will be a version 3.0. Oh, Poochie, can you imagine? I bet some amazing views. You got the water, you got the boats, you got Astoria, you got Randall's Island. And I would guess in the morning you probably have some nice sunrise views, depending on where you are in the apartment. That would be fun. Ian's heading out. Hey, it was good to have you. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, and for some reason the chat just started. So how long have we been doing this stream? 49 minutes. For some reason the chat just showed up on my streaming phone. Prism or YouTube, I don't know. It's not been working too well lately. So in a minute or two, you're going to see there's a big concrete structure up ahead. and the cars, they just continue forwards, and atop that concrete structure is Carl Schurz Park, where we started. But the reason I'm mentioning this concrete structure is there's a sign on it, and it was built by the works. What was it called? I'm probably going to get the name a little bit wrong, but like the work. Oh, what was that thing called? It was one of the million New Deal agencies, the like WPA. I'm just forgetting what it was. Work Projects Agency. I forget. But anyways, the sign also has the name of the president at the time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So if you want to know how old some of the stuff around here is and where this all comes from, it goes that far back, all the way to the New Deal. But and anyways, it's always I find it always very inspiring when I see that. Yeah, Ambrose, Gabe warned us. And I guess Action Kid had the same problem. Just need to pause for a second, check in on the kiddo. There it is, Works Progress Administration. That sounds right. It's like progress, products, projects. What could it be? The New Deal was like word acronym salad. There were so many different agencies. But if you guys want to, if you're really into history, if that little factoid was of any interest, there's a website called the New Deal Map. And what they've done is they've tried to map every New Deal project that they can possibly find. And however many projects you think there were, I guarantee you were wrong by a huge margin. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands in every town and city around the country. And it's really cool stuff. Like you'll find, oh, this library was built, this bridge was built, this park was built. It's really, really incredible. And I find it very inspiring. So if you're into history, check that out. But that's the structure just up ahead. You know, coming out of the Great Depression. Kind of amazing. Let's go closer to the water so we can see the ferry, New York City ferry going by. Yeah, Poochie, this is where we started. So this boat is called Signs to Liberty. I love the New York City ferry. $4 per person. The tickets, once you start one up, I think they're good for, I forget if it's 90 minutes or 2 hours. But if you started here, you could easily take this down to Wall Street and transfer to another boat. So for example, for $4, you could take this down to Wall Street and then hop on the Rockaway boat. And it's a great way to spend your day. Say bye to the boat, kiddo. Hey, Sal Muscle is in the house. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Stroller Cam. Doing a little bit of the East River today. Look at the size of that pigeon. That is a beast. That is a beast. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go find a nice little bench somewhere and just enjoy some of the water views. I'm going to try to find some shade though. I keep forgetting to wear my sunscreen. And while it's not too hot today, it sure is sunny. So let's see. These are nice. Maybe we'll start over here. Let's see if it's quiet enough. Oh, let's take a load off. Put the parking brake on. How we doing, kiddo? All right, let's take a load off for a little bit. We'll just enjoy some of the peace right here by the ferry. We got the bridges in the background. We got the RFK and the Hellgate. Nice breeze coming by, and then around me again is Schurz Park, and there's lots of people doing some gardening around me. It's really pretty. Brian Davis says the kiddo loves his limousine. He sure does. He's got it made right now. His responsibilities are eat, sleep, and play. ER says we have to know he'll wake up now. I know, that's the downside. But we had a pretty good walk. He's been asleep almost the entire time. So just about an hour. And these days, somewhere between an hour and a half is pretty good. It's also nice and cool out. A little breeze that I think he can feel. He's chilling. Yeah, Sal, that's right. So that used to be known as the Triborough Bridge. It's so funny. All the bridges are getting so complicated now. So my favorite is the Queensboro, otherwise known as the 59th Street Bridge, otherwise known as the Ed Koch Bridge. Oh, it is so peaceful over here. If you're ever around, I really do recommend this area. You can head over to Schurz Park. There's lots to do over there. If you just want to hang out, there's nice, like I said, they're doing all this landscaping and stuff. Lots of pretty flowers. And there's lots of signs describing what's around. So if you're, want to learn about that stuff, it's pretty easy to do. And then there's a bunch of sports courts. They added pickleball recently. Everybody's new favorite thing. And there's a couple of dog runs, so it's really fun. And then Gracie Mansion, which we're right next to, again, it's the official residence of the New York City mayor. They do free tours. So if you Google Gracie Mansion tours, you should be able to find that. ER says, I like Dead Koch. Yeah, he's a character. Everything I've read about him and learned about him, and I've seen some interviews, he was a real character. Prince Ice says, I would love to have a slice of pizza while sitting here. Yeah, you and me both. I should have brought some lunch. Next time. Max says, is this channel split between two different people now? No, just us. Just us. I was probably speaking a little louder just because we were by the FDR. So I was probably raising my voice more than normal. And Max is coming to us from Hawaii. Oh, I know Action Kid is in Hawaii right now. He's been getting all over the place. Globetrotter checking in from Canada. Good to see our friends from all around the country and the world. Good to have everybody. Wow, that was a really intense stroller. So it had a fan, and then it had a car seat and a little sidecar attachment with like toys. That's so funny. Ah, the things I notice now. I'm hoping we'll see one more boat come in. I saw some folks start to kind of line up over by the ferry pier, so I'm hoping we'll see one more boat come by. That would be fun. Gabe has his helicopters. I have my New York City ferry. Weather for New York City, thank you, Nightbot. Conditions are sunny with a temperature of 63 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from the north at 12 miles per hour, and the current humidity, 30%. It could not feel any nicer than it does right now. Oh, the kids next to me, they have a little, what do you call it, bubble station. Prince Ice says the stroller F-150 Raptor. Oh, it's so funny. All right, why don't let's finish Carl Schurz Park. Let me show you. I want to show you the other end of Carl Schurz, and then I think we'll call it a day. It's going to get a little bumpy though when we get back on the normal path. We'll see if the gimbal falls over. But let's go see the rest of Carl Schurz Park. You know, maybe we'll go to Gracie Square, which one of the buildings on Gracie Square, which is just like a beautiful name of a street. Imagine saying, my address, number 1 Gracie Square. But one of the buildings on Gracie Square has the nicest door in New York City, so maybe I'll show you the door. Let me know if you want to see the nicest door in New York City. Yeah, we got some really good views today. Perfect blue sky, the water's rolling. Very peaceful, even with the FDR. Oh, look at that. I think that's the New York Fire Department. That boat is moving. I think that's the fire department. Wonder where they're headed. They're in a hurry. And then up ahead to our immediate left is Roosevelt Island. So as you can tell, FDR, that little section of FDR, the roadway, and Roosevelt Island, everything over here named after the president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And there's the ferry I was waiting on. Give you a view. It's going to get blocked in a second by this boat, barge. It's just too far. I can't read the name. Lots of people on top, though. This is the day. This is the day to be on the New York City ferry. Ride on top. It would be awfully windy, but you'd be feeling fine. Nice and sunny. You'd be feeling fine. All right, I want to cross this threshold right here. It's going to get very bumpy. It's going to get very bumpy. Bump, 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 bump. Gimbal's just going crazy. Look at the flowers here. It is so pretty in Carl Schurz Park. Lots of nice benches to sit on. And the sign says, "This garden is cared for by a neighborhood volunteer." That's nice. All the kiddos coming out for their morning stroll, afternoon stroll. We'll go by one of the dog parks in a second. Bump, 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 bump. Valletta says, "Is it wrong? I'm already worried about losing the stroller view when the baby grows up." I mean, that's the thing with the baby. My wife and I were just talking, he's so big now. He got so tall. And I remember when he was not so tall, like a month ago. This time, it's going by so quickly. It doesn't feel that way at 3 in the morning when he's not asleep, but when you take a step back, it's going by awfully quick. When you take a step back, it is going by awfully fast. Sign to my right says, "Newly seeded lawn, please let the grass grow." You got it, sign. So this part of the Greenway, by the way, has another name. If you notice the sign to my left with the kind of silhouette of a man walking, this part of the walkway is actually called John Finley Walk. And at one point I did know who John Finley was, but I don't remember. So if anybody wants to look him up really fast, then share in the chat, let us know. John Finley, F-I-N-L-E-Y. I think he was another New York politician if I remember, but I don't remember the specifics. To my right, one of the little dog parks coming up, and then down below, a little hard to see, there's another dog park for the bigger dogs, and then there's some basketball courts and the pickleball courts. We'll go see the pickleball courts in a second. You can probably start to hear some of the dogs barking. Hello, pups. Someone stopped me here once. He said, we were walking the kiddo, so we had the stroller. This will make sense in a moment. He said, "I just got dog poop on my hand, and I see you have a stroller, so I think you might have wipes." And I said, "Yes, sir, I do have wipes." Here's the pickleball courts. And you can see the leaf in the middle signifying the New York City Parks Department. I was listening to somebody, I forget, and they were saying that it turns out pickleball has actually been around for like 20 or 30 years, and it just so happens that it just exploded in popularity recently. But I was one of those people who was under the impression that, oh, this must be like a recent invention. But no, it's actually been around for quite a while. It just took a while to really take off. It is so popular now here in New York, at least. Even in Central Park, they got rid of roller skating in Central Park and put pickleball courts instead. At Woolman Rink, it's called Woolman Rink. It's not called Woolman Pickleball. All right, let's head out of Carl Schurz. We will go on to Gracie Square and let's see if we can find the nicest door in New York City. Again, if you wanted, you could keep going south along the waterfront to 73rd Street. You'd have to get off for a little bit, take a detour, then you can get back on. If you want to see more of the Greenway, we've actually done extensive walks of the Greenway, so just check we have some live streams of it and we have recorded videos. So I think, is it 7 or is it 5? I forget, let's find out. It might be 7. But this is Gracie Square, and there's a historic plaque at the end of the street, so we'll go see that in a moment. And we can read about who Gracie was. Somebody's singing some beautiful opera. Well, let's go see the door. Here it is. The nicest door in New York City. Beautiful. Take a picture. It'll last longer. So 7 Gracie Square. The nicest door in New York City. Can you guys hear the opera? Guy's a good singer. Let's go read the historic plaque. And then I think we're going to call it a day, my friends. This has been a fun one. I've enjoyed exploring New York City with you guys. A little stroll with me and the kiddo. Here's our historic plaque, 1755 to 1829, in memory of Archibald Gracie, distinguished citizen and merchant who made his home on this square for many years. This tablet is erected by Anthony Paterno in the year 1930. Incredible history. I'll show you one last thing, actually. One last thing. I lied. I'll show you one last thing. Let's go to Henderson Place. So as you can see, lots of named streets over here. Kind of unusual when you're near the grid, where it's normally the avenues and then the numbered streets, but there's a handful, as you can see, of named streets. Right now we're on East End Avenue, which is actually Avenue B, if you're familiar with Alphabet City. Just west of us is York Avenue, which farther south would be Avenue A. These also continue northwards. So Pleasant Avenue is an example of that. We were talking about Rayo's earlier, which is on Pleasant Avenue. Well, let's go see Henderson Place really quick. Some beautiful historic homes from the 1800s. And a $10 super chat from ER Trauma RN. Thanks, Sean Mini Bagel, for the great walk. Keeping me working. Hey. Well, thank you 10 times over. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us and helping me experiment with Stroller Cam version 2.0. I think there's going to be a version 3.0 because as I walk here on the city streets again and we hit the bumps, it is not as stable as I was hoping. So we will continue to experiment with stroller cam because at the moment at least, it is our best approach to doing more walks with you guys. It's just our schedule and kind of work-life balance right now is a little crazy. So right here at 86th Street, this red brick structure right ahead is Henderson Place, and we're going to make a left. We'll go to the corner and I'll read some of the history of it for you guys. There's a nice little historic marker. So let's go check out the historic marker here. And you'll see the East 86th Street Henderson Place street sign. Very rare to have a named street around this part. And the apartment across the way is called Henderson House. But let's read this little sign. The brown street signs, by the way, signify historic districts. So if you ever see a brown street sign in New York, that's what it means. So let me park here for a second. And it reads, Henderson Place Historic District. This picturesque residential enclave was developed by fur importer and real estate investor John Cleves Henderson in 1880 to 1882. The Upper East Side site was chosen for its proximity to the new 2nd Avenue elevated railway, as well as the East River Park, now known as Carl Schurz Park, which opened in 1876. The 33-story red brick residences, 21 of which survive, were intended for rental to people of, quote, moderate means. I bet they're $1 million, multi-million dollars now. Definitely not meant for moderate means anymore. Designed as an ensemble in the fashionable Queen Anne style by the architectural firm Lamb & Rich, the houses were inspired by British architect Norman Shaw's work in suburban London. Richly textured elevations incorporate arched entranceways, terracotta ornamentation, and a strikingly varied roof silhouette of gables, dormers, mansards, and towers. So there it is, folks. There it is, folks. Beautiful. So we're going to call it a wonderful walk with everybody. Thank you for being with us. Everybody who chatted, everybody who donated especially, thank you for your very, 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 very generous contributions. Our mods, thank you for being with us and keeping the chat friendly and upholding the best community on YouTube. Thanks to the kiddo for being a good boy. He was very good. If you enjoy these sorts of things, leave a like. It'll help the algorithm recommend us to other people as well. And obviously, if you want to hang out with us more, consider subscribing. Our schedule is a little unpredictable, so if you subscribe, it's the best way to get notified of when we're out and about. But we'll be doing this again real soon. Yeah, Mika back home. We're just signing off now, but he was with us. We're on the stroller cam version 2.0. Had a nice walk along the East River. I'm gonna go get this kiddo home, get him well fed, do a little lunch. But thanks everybody. We had a really good time hanging out with you guys. And we'll do this again sometime real soon.